Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Genshin Impact running on the AMD RDNA 2 based Radeon 6800M. Now this is of course the iGPU that comes in the R9 6900HS. So this is currently running on the ASUS G14 with the dedicated graphics completely disabled. The game pretty much only recognizes the iGPU. Now the game pretty much defaulted to the medium settings, and the only thing that I changed was just turning off VSync. I left everything to what it default, and the performance that it was giving was very impressive. This is of course running at 1080p, and we're getting some pretty great performance here, but nothing that is too remarkable. I was kind of expecting to get better than this. I mean, we're getting a 60 FPS average, but you can see that the FPS is below that a lot of the time, which is not necessarily a bad experience. You know, the 1% lows being in the high 40s is pretty much letting us know that we're going to have a pretty decent time while playing the actual game. Really though, for a game that's available on mobile devices, I was kind of expecting this to perform a bit better. I mean, it looks good and it performs well. While you're playing the game, you're not really going to have much to complain about. There are never any major dips or anything like that. It is pretty much going to be a very smooth experience. And really, the performance that we're getting here isn't that big of a deal, just because of the fact that even if you disable VSync, the game actually just does not go above 60. The game actually has a hard limit of 60. It actually used to be higher than that. I remember in the beta days, they actually would let you go all the way up to 120, but that got removed a while ago, like a long time ago, and ever since then it's just been stuck at 60. That being said though, you can see that the GPU is at 100% load a lot of the time, so we really don't have the headroom to actually turn the settings up to the high setting, just because of the fact that we are getting dips below 60. And really, the last thing you want to do in these kinds of scenarios is widen the gap between your 1% lows and your averages. You want them to be as close to each other as humanly possible. Really, it's just a scenario where you would rather get a locked 30 FPS experience with 1% lows that drop down into maybe 27 territory, rather than having a 60 FPS average with 1% lows in the 20 region. Because you tend to feel those major drops, those sudden changes, a lot more than just small little drops. Even if 30 FPS doesn't feel amazing to play, at least you're going to have a consistent experience like that. So here, having a 60 FPS average with 1% lows that are just slightly below 50 is pretty much just letting us know that this is just going to be a great experience no matter what. And this is really the kind of experience you want to have with this kind of game. With that said though, I mean, with the kind of performance you can get out of this chip, I really wish that they would uncap this FPS, because I would rather play this game at the lowest settings and get a high refresh rate experience than play like this. And that's not to say that playing like this is bad or anything, but once you've experienced high refresh rate gaming, it can be kind of difficult to just go back from it. And that's really the position that I'm in here, where I would like to at least be able to utilize the high refresh rate screen on this monitor. I really just don't like this trend of games locking their FPS to 60. I get it that like a lot of people will just play at 60. Most people just have 1080p monitors that are 60 hertz, but there is no real reason to not unlock it in this situation. I mean, they had it before. I don't know if they just updated the game and somehow tied like the physics to the FPS or something like that. Although when you have major dips, it doesn't really slow down the game or anything. So I really just don't see a reason to cap it, especially because of the fact that a lot of phones nowadays just ship with like 1080p or 1440p screens that go up to like 120 or 144 hertz. Now granted, this is one of the most graphically demanding mobile games out there, and not really many phones out there, or I don't even know if there's any phone out there that can actually run this game at a high refresh rate, at least on paper obviously, because the game is locked to 60, but I don't think there's any phone out there right now that is capable of doing it, but who knows. I'm just gonna take a quick hit of that copium and hope that one day they actually unlock it. Like they do some stupid anniversary update where it's just like, hey guys, we're adding in this new feature, an unlocked frame rate. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick look at how this runs on RDNA 2. Overall, I'm really impressed with this chip. This game really just does not do it justice. You will be surprised the level of performance that you can get out of this chip in a lot of games. This is scratching the surface. So if you really want to see how it's running, I'm very excited with how it's been running. But if you want to see more of that, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.